My boy Brian is taking heat for wanting a long-term relationship, but no marriage. Here's my opinion on it. I saw this already. Okay, I saw this once because I watched the podcast last night or the night before. I don't know. And yeah, so here we are. We're gonna see this part again. I'm gonna give my thoughts because only my opinion matters.
Never talk to her again. I'm against that.
Right.
Me personally, if I want to sleep with a girl, I want to continue seeing her. I want to pursue a long-term relationship.
Are you ready for marriage right now in your life?
Well, here's the other thing. I don't want to get married.
Okay, so then
but then aren't you just going around damaging women then?
Yeah.
Wait, so hold on.
Just going around making more you're making more hoes.
Again, like, I want a long-term relationship. Aren't you damaging women? We're making long-term whole. What is she talking about? That's not what he's saying. I don't understand why people think a piece of paper is what solidifies commitment. That piece of paper, 50% of the time, means nothing to people because they get divorced. So obviously the piece of paper isn't what's damaging women or men. Or not having it.
He can still have a long-term relationship.
I could have.
No, but you're
contributing to.
If anything, for 50% of the people, the marriage hurt them significantly more than a long-term relationship would have that ended. There's men who have to continue paying their wife for a very long time, and a few women that this is the case for as well. They do exist, but it's mostly men, and this hurts them a lot. You think that's not mentally taxing to, well, my wife lives with a new man. She banged the neighbor. Here's my money. You know, here's all of my money. Like, that makes no sense.
The body count.
You're contributing to whoredom.
Right.
And
Wait,
destruction.
hold on.
Yeah, one of the cake stickers.
Yeah, you're the finger dipper, and they're like, "Oh, you're such a 304. You should."
Brian needs to learn how to speak up.
Like, but you promised a long life with me
you're
and sold a
assuming.
dream.
Then you don't have
No, I
room
don't
to judge.
sell the dream.
You don't have room
Jesus
to judge
Christ,
the
bro.
women. You don't have room
Tell
to
him
judge
to
the
shut
cakes that
up.
have had their fingers stick
But there's
in
no
them
commitment
if
to
you're
that.
doing the sticking.
Actually,
And
that's
wants
not
to find a
true.
new
Traditionally-
cake, a new
Hold on,
bakery.
guys, one fucking thing at a time.
different
please.
bakery every
I can
week.
only respond to one person at a time.
Traditionally, men, when they slept with women, they were defiling their status and
Shit.
fathers would hunt men down
me
and
up.
beat the living daylights out of them or shoot them
What the
sometimes.
fuck?
Yeah.
Damn.
Historically,
didn't
yeah, if
marry
you
them,
slept
yeah.
with their
You
dog.
say historically, what culture are you talking about? What country? What, like, nation? Like, what are you talking about? This is not the case for everywhere in the world. Like, what are you talking? Like, what is she talking about? Historically, where? That the fathers were like, oh, you slept with my daughter, I'm going to kill you. That's like something you see in fucking movies. I really doubt that's fucking accurate.
Daughter and they lost.
How would they even
status or
know?
something Because
Oh my god.
didn't have a word.
No.
Unless they were pregnant, of course.
2024.
They would
No,
have to
that's not the point.
No,
The
that
point
it is the point.
No,
No,
'cause
what
you
they would
didn't
have
let
to
me
do
finish.
is they
You
would
didn't
have to
let me
pay
finish.
restitution.
You didn't let me
Maybe.
finish.
Yeah.
But still,
Maybe.
the fact is, you are causing damage, and it's a
How?
disrespect to
You're
a family.
also causing damage to the male, and
Yet
male
the
virginity
family- the
being
male-
intact was also something which was considered
Okay,
to
but-
be, inside of society, something that which needed to be held intact.
It damages
Male
everyone.
chastity.
That's the point. It's a disrespect to everyone, including yourself. And if you're going to go around continually just
What?
sleeping with people without marriage and then saying, oh, well, women have to stop being.
That's so stupid, in my opinion, because he said long-term relationship, right? So what she's saying is everybody should immediately get married by that logic. Like, I know that's how she thinks, but that's basically what she's saying with her words. She said, well, you're damaging them with the long-term relationship. Everybody has a long-term relationship before marriage to begin. Or not everyone. Everyone should have, like, at least some kind of substantial relationship before marriage. This is so
You're
weird.
contributing to the problem. You're quite literally
Did you
the
not
problem.
hear anything I just said?
But you said you wanted
Did you
long
not just
term,
hear-
but not marriage. And if it doesn't
What's
work
the-
out, then
Yeah, but do you
There's no
acknowledge
consequences.
a difference
It's
between these
crazy.
Guys who will fuck like multiple new women a week and never talk to them again versus a guy who's actually genuinely interested in pursuing
biblically it's the same
long-term.
But
thing. If
you're
you're
wasting-
sleeping with someone
Really?
before
You're wasting
marriage,
Really?
their time if
Biblically,
you
if
have
you're-
no intent to
No,
marry them.
if you're being
No.
upfront, if you're being
Who the fuck cares about biblically? What does that have to do? Biblically, I'm supposed to lose all of my shit if a woman sleeps with my neighbor and divorces me? That's biblically? Okay, show me that passage.
Being upfront with
Yes,
them. Yeah,
being
exactly.
upfront.
So then I
I'm
don't think
literally
you're wasting
saying,
your
I'm
time.
saying it on a podcast.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
saying
like
it
you're
on a
being. I
podcast.
never said you're being dishonest.
The overarching
I'm saying
point.
you're causing harm.
Yeah, the overarching
long
point
term.
you're
Am I?
making is fine. I
Damn,
agree.
bro.
Like I literally agree with you. I've agreed with most of what you said.
Andrew
when
disagrees
it comes to
with
this,
things.
but here's the thing. I don't really, in this sense, I don't understand why you're negating the responsibility of women.
I
Whose
didn't.
sexual virtue is really important for biblically.
Right.
I didn't
We're
negate
not
her
negating
responsibility.
women's
I didn't say that
responsibility.
she was inept mentally and she can't
I'm
like. make her own
actually speaking
decisions.
more like
That's not what I'm
from
saying.
man to man, brother to brother.
I'm addressing
Men
her question.
disrespecting other men.
Yeah, no, but
by
I'm
doing
talking
that.
specifically.
What's up, Nick? Everything okay, Nick?
How is that disrespecting other men? These women make no sense. This makes no fucking sense.
Oh, okay.
What?
I thought I heard something.
So
back
are you thinking it's a more compelling argument because men respect other men? So if they think they're causing harm to other men, then it might make them.
Well,
think
they are
about it
causing
too.
What
harm
is
to
the
other men.
harm? You
They
guys are not
because-
elaborating.
Hold on.
You wouldn't want someone doing that to your daughter or your.
Yeah, you would. So, first of all, you fucking morons. If somebody gets with a woman, right, and they don't want to get married, I'm speaking to someone who wants to be married one day, right? If you get married, or if you don't get married and you're with someone for 40 years, please explain the harm of not having a marriage certificate. Like, please tell me, what is the fucking harm? There's way more damage and mental struggle and all this pain and suffering that comes from being married versus not being married. That shit makes no sense. If he's saying he wants to be loyal to someone and he's filling all of the same prerequisites that someone does who's married before getting married, then I don't understand what the problem is. What is the damage? Again, they keep saying, you're damaging these women. Boo fucking who, bruh? What is the damage? You keep saying this. There's no examples. Nobody can actually articulate an argument here for why it's bad. It's just, it's bad because biblically. Not everyone subscribes to your fucking book, dude. And the thing is, I'm going to let it go a little bit longer because I think it does come up again. But I have a whole thing on the whole biblical marriage argument, which is bullshit.
Sister or your mother
Or
just
my
coming-
son.
Well,
or your but a man coming along saying, I want to have a long-term relationship with you. I'm not going to marry you, but I do expect you to sleep with me and do all the roles of a wife.
But what type of woman would
Sign me
allow
all
up.
that?
the roles of a wife. A
Sign
father would
me
not
up.
want that for his
That's
daughter.
removing
Let-
autonomy
Shorty
from the
wanted that
woman.
for
That's
son.
the only
Al,
problem with the
You
argument.
can do my laundry.
So why would you expect that full commitment from a woman without giving that full commitment with her?
Why is she giving
It's her
it?
choice.
At the end of the day, it's full commitment. This full commitment is a fucking threat. That's literally all the full commitment is. It is you religious people that allowed the government and states to take the power of marriage away from the church and make it so that you get fucking tax breaks and benefits from it. You guys let this happen. You guys let this happen. Do you really think a bunch of atheists would be so damn fucking pressured to be married if there wasn't any fucking benefit? There's so many things that they don't ask you in any piece of paper almost ever, do you have a long-term partner? No, it's are you fucking married? There's so many different benefits that come from being married. For example, even something as small as going to college. So I'm going to college overseas, hopefully. And for example, if you're married, you can not live in the dorms for a year, whatever. Small thing, but it's just an example. You can not live in the dorms because they require first years to live in dorms. So it's like that. But for taxes, you get tax breaks. It's way easier to basically structure your life together and a bunch of other things with bank accounts and stuff if you're married. So it is the religious people who fail to protect something they claim is so important to them. And then 50% of people are getting fucking divorced and people are losing shit. That's not mentally healthy for anyone. And now everybody has a negative view. Brian is not a fucking outlier. Every man I ask, I guarantee, and that I know in real life, every man that I ask will be very careful about saying they want to marry someone. And there's a fucking reason. Because you guys let the state and government decide, well, we're actually gonna fuck over men for a couple of decades until nobody wants to get married anymore. That's what you guys allowed to happen. If you kept it between the church, nobody would care. A lot less people would get married too, to be honest with you. You think people are really getting married for biblical reasons? Really? Fucking really? Why the fuck do prenups exist? You think if there wasn't a market for them, they would exist? Why do postnups exist? Like, this is such a stupid way of thinking, and it's your fault. It's your organization's fault, not your fault. But your organization allowed marriage to be stripped away. The church has zero fucking power when it comes to that. You don't even need a fucking priest to get you married. You literally can go to the fucking courthouse. I think they might have them at the courthouse, but I don't even think it has to be like a priest. Yeah, it's not a priest. It's a fucking, whatever the fuck they're called. I forget. But you don't need, it's not tied to religion anymore. So your whole point falls apart. There's no attachment to religion and marriage that's exclusive in the United States of America. That's just a fact. And it's your organization's fault.
Why is she giving it?
Well,
If she doesn't want that,
Why is she giving the
it's not
commitment?
the argument of who's giving it or who's receiving
No,
or
it is.
taking.
It's
the
the
argument
same.
is why are you doing it?
No,
Why
it's
do
the
you
same
want to
argument.
participate in that when
Because he loves her and he wants to spend his life with her. You think a piece of paper is when you start to love someone and want to spend your life? If that's how you think, you shouldn't ever get fucking married. And this is childish thinking. It's like, if you just think about this for 10 seconds, this isn't even a hard conclusion to come to. It's literally like the most basic common sense. Why, if she would just like be quiet and think for a second, and if Brian, this is on Brian too, he does not know how to articulate points super well, which is why like maybe tell him to like, oh, be quiet, let other people debate when they're on, which I think is fun. I think Brian needs to learn how to like get a bigger backbone and be able to like think about these points better before saying them, and then be able to argue it really well, because he's not wrong. He's just not wrong. And if she had thought about it for 10 seconds, she would think, all she needs to do is challenge her own belief. That's the whole thing about thinking. All you have to do is challenge your own belief before you say shit, right? This could take long for really complicated topics. Some things are super easy. Should murder be legal? I think about it. Wait, I don't want to die. I also don't want XYZ to die. I don't want my family or friends to die. Yeah, murder should probably be illegal. Like, some things don't take a lot of time. But for something like this, I think it's the same thing. All she has to do is ask the question, why would a man not want to be married in the United States of America? That is literally the only question she has to ask, and the answer will fucking come to her. Or she'll have to look at some statistics. I think it would be pretty fucking obvious why. And the church doesn't solve this, so you guys can fuck off with that. Honestly, you guys created this problem. The church created this problem. You allowed this to happen. There should be no... What happens to separation of church and state? You guys let this fucking happen. You guys allowed the government, because you wanted fucking benefits, to come in and take over something, is what I'm guessing happened. Like, there's no way it just... Well, the government took it, but we all fought it. No, motherfuckers wanted benefits, just like how the church doesn't have to pay fucking taxes. Separation of church and state doesn't exist. So, you let them grab it, and now you're complaining men don't want to get married? I want to, but I'm a fucking idiot. Obviously. I'm joking, but, you know, it's just, like, it's this whole thing that you have to understand why men wouldn't want to get married, right? Because I lose all of my stuff if you cheat on me, if you get upset. Obviously, not always, but, yeah. It could be pretty fucking unstable. And having a piece of paper literally doesn't change anything in terms of love and feelings and compassion. It really doesn't. The only thing it changes is fear, which is not really that good for a fucking relationship. You shouldn't have to walk around your partner like, or stick out like the worst times of your life because you're afraid they're going to take half of your shit. That shit is crazy.
Why does she?
You're complaining about that being a part of the problem. Why are you participating in the problem?
Why is she?
Why is the church
You are
participating
complaining
in the
about
problem?
See, I
She's
think
doing
the
it. She
problem
probably
is
doesn't
you
care.
can't have your
She
cake
doesn't
and eat it
care.
too.
I'm not
you know?
conceding.
Right.
I'm not saying that it's
So she
wrong.
doesn't-
It's not wrong.
Right.
I'm saying it's wrong on both
Stop
ends, but
disproportionately
she's saying that
punishing
it's
them.
okay. Why is it okay?
Your organization
to
fucked up.
contribute to all of this and say it's a problem, but then
You okay,
continue
Renee?
to
You doing
contribute
good?
to the problem. If
So-
you're going to have sex with women before marriage,
So I'll answer the
continuously-
question. So if chastity is important to a woman, great.
It's
If
important to
So
men.
again, he should react and make his morals
let me
based
let me
on
make
a
the
woman
argument
instead
before
of
you cut me
God.
off in 5 seconds. Relax.
I'm just
So here's the
I'm sorry.
so here's the
Je m'excuse.
so here's the argument back, right? You're right that men and women should keep their chastity intact, 100%. They both have a responsibility to do that, women even more so than men, because of how valuable it is. And they are the gatekeepers of sex. We know this because based on ancestry, we can see that men have twice as many female ancestors as they do male ancestors. Okay?
You're a man in the relationship is
So
supposed
hang on,
to,
let me finish.
Okay.
Almost done. So because of this, we know that women gatekeep sex. That's as it should be. And yes, it is absolutely.
I think they all
biblical.
missed
Yes,
Brian's
there's
argument.
nothing-
I think Andrew Wilson missed it here too. Like Brian's argument, and he's made this argument before, is why I'm confused and nobody really caught on to what he was saying. He's saying, why would I get married if I can do the exact same thing not married, which is 100% true. If you need a piece of paper to love someone, you don't love them. And that's probably why 50% end in divorce. And it is what it is. It is what it is. A piece of paper should not determine if you love someone. What happens if getting married is outlawed tomorrow? You know, it's not going to happen, but imagine. You guys all lose love for your wives and then you walk away? No. If the word marriage didn't exist, I guarantee you still know what the feeling of love was. So stop the bullshit. You don't need to get fucking married. Guys, if you are uncomfortable getting married, don't feel fucking pressured to. It's fucking bullshit. Don't use a religious reason. Because guess what? The church isn't helping you pay that fucking woman when she takes half of your shit and walks away if things don't work out. The church isn't helping you with that. So don't let them tell you, oh, yeah, do this and it's all great and rosy. The truth is, most people are terrible. Or just, most people are either terrible or not very intelligent. And sometimes you get fucking bamboozled. And it is what it is. That's something you don't want to be bamboozled by. Take as long as you fucking need, as you and your partner are comfortable with. But if your partner wants to be married and you don't, say that shit fucking before you waste their time. That's the only time you're wasting their time, if you know they want to get married and you keep leading them on. And that's bullshit. Don't fucking do that, obviously. But they completely missed the fucking nail here. They hit their thumb.
Nothing wrong with that. And men also are supposed to maintain their chastity. My only contention with your entire argument here is that if a fucking D-gen, Brian, and another no, I'm kidding, I'm joking, bro, relax, calm down. But anyway, and a D-gen woman,
just a little bit,
right? They're both hooking up together. I don't see where you can delineate and say that that's purely the responsibility of the man. It clearly isn't.
And
the same thing.
That's basically what you were
saying. That's
saying.
her argument, right?
Okay, it's not my argument.
So
I didn't say
Wait, are
it
you
was
a- are
only the
you a
responsibility of
virgin?
a man. Don't put that in my
I
mouth.
said
That word
that I
is
was
in my
Well,
mouth.
but
Like,
who's
I did
leaving
not
the
say
finger
that.
on the cake? This implies that the cake
I didn't
itself
say
was
that.
perfect until this finger hit it.
Well, you said a
but
virgin
the cake has no
had-
autonomy,
the
right?
virgin
The
was
cake
the
can't
epitome.
choose
That's
if you
darn
stick your
finger.
finger
That's not
in
what I
it.
said.
Okay,
I said
hold on. This was my analogy, so I want to address this because you're actually saying that I said something in it. What I'm saying here is the reason I gave the analogy was
what's
to
the-
pose the question of if you think it's okay as a man to be disrespecting other men by essentially tampering with, causing damage
Damn,
to
the
such
answer-
a
the answer is
devaluation
no.
My penis is
to
not that
another
big.
man's future
So the
wife.
answer is
No
no.
damage.
The answer is
No
no.
damage is
and
occurring.
the answer to the
There's
other
no
side
damage occurring.
is it's
It's an
also
average
not okay
penis.
for her
I've never
to be doing.
They're so dramatic. You're damaging not really. He's not saying he wants to have multiple partners and just jump around. He's saying he wants one partner. To stay with that person the rest of his life is just, hello. He doesn't want the piece of paper. This is what I think religious people can and should do. Why don't you guys create a separate form of marriage that the state doesn't have their fucking hands in and control? Why not? Because you guys want the benefits too. Let's be fucking real. You guys want the benefits. You guys let this happen. This is why the state of marriage is as bad as it is. If the church was the only body in charge of it, we never would have had conversations like, should gay people be allowed to be married? We wouldn't be having conversations about divorce at such a high rate. We wouldn't be having conversations about why people don't want to be married, because it would be a Christian thing. And yeah. Or Catholic, whatever, it would be that fucking delineage. It'd be their thing and handled by their organizations. But you guys ruined that because you were greedy. it is what it is. Or not you guys. I don't know. It probably means something to you guys. I believe it. But there's somebody down the line who's fucking greedy and wanted benefits. Okay? Like, can we just not pretend like marriage has nothing to do with finances now? Like, it. That's how I see it. That's really all I have to say on the topic. Let me know your thoughts below. Let me know what you guys want me to react to. If you have ideas, I'm open to ideas. Just drop them. Be like, hey, I thought this video was interesting. Can you watch this? And I'll be like, man, fuck no. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'll be like, yeah, I'll check it out. And then I'll go watch it. You guys love when I look at whatever podcast. So shit, me and Brian are in a partnership. He doesn't know it. It's not symbiotic. It is more so I'm like a leech. But one day, motherfucker, it'll be symbiotic. One day, it'll take a few years, but I'll be there. All right, thanks, guys. If you disagree with this point, tell me in the comments. Be respectful, all right? And I'll be respectful. But if you're disrespectful or you say some stupid shit, you know, I'm a very outspoken person. I got some free time, and I'll be on my phone. I'll be like, damn, I'm respond to this dumbass comment real quick. That's the Hoyoverse people, man. That's the I am lighting their ass up. They got my damn nerves, man. Storytelling and video games. It's crazy. All right. Bye, guys. Love you.